Mr. Chief Justice, on behalf of myself and Senator Cardin and Senator Van Hollen, I have a question for the House managers that I will submit to the desk.
Thank you. Question from Senator Klobuchar and the other senators. This one's from Senator Cardin. I think this is the right question, and it is directed to the House managers. No, oops, we don't have the question before us. From Senator Cardin. Thank you very much. Question from Senator Klobuchar is to the House managers. Could you please respond to the answer just given by the President's Counsel and provide any other comments the Senate would benefit from hearing before we adjourn for the evening?
Mr. Chief Justice, members of the Senate, we've just heard from the House, from the President's Counsel, is the usual nonsense. There are only three, as we draw to a close tonight, there are only three things to remember. One, this is a trial. As a trial, as any 10-year-old knows, we should have witnesses. We are told we can't have witnesses because, after all, the House says we proved our case, as we have, and so why should we need witnesses? Well, that's like saying that in a bank robbery, the DA announces that he's proved his case. He's had all the witnesses. And then an eyewitness shows up, and he shouldn't be allowed to testify because, after all, the DA was sure he proved his case first. That's absurd. Any 10-year-old knows it's absurd. And that's the President's case against witnesses, that we've had enough. There's always more. There aren't too many more here, but the fact is, when there are witnesses to be asked, they should be asked. Second, there's only one real question in this trial. Everything else is a distraction. A three-card Monte game being played by the President's counsel. Distractions. Don't look at the real question. Look at everything else. Everything else irrelevant. Look at the whistleblower. Irrelevant. Look at the House procedures. Irrelevant. Look at Hunter Biden. Irrelevant. Look at whether President Obama's policy was as good as or better than President Trump's policy with respect to Ukraine. Irrelevant. Look at the Steele dossier. Irrelevant. There's only one relevant question. Did the President abuse his power by violating the law to withhold military aid from a foreign country, to extort that country into helping his re-election campaign by slandering his opponent? That's the only relevant question for this trial. The House managers have proved that question beyond any doubt. The one thing the President's Counsel got right was quoting me as saying it was beyond any doubt. It is indeed beyond any doubt. That's why all these distractions. That's why the President's people are telling you to avoid witnesses, because they are afraid of the witnesses. They know the witnesses. They know Mr. Bolton and others will only strengthen the case. And yes, we hear, well, if the House managers say the case is so strong, why do you need more witnesses? Because the truth can be bolstered. I yield back.
Thank you, counsel. The majority leader is recognized.
Mr. Chief Justice.